What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a bunch of Destiny 2 news and content for Season 13 to discuss. So, in the video today we are going to talk a little bit more about this season's hidden exotic, as well as a new hidden activity that we'll be tackling, and some rewards associated with it. Safe to say there's some pretty cool content coming up. And there are other early previews for content this season, a new cutscene that we'll discuss, and we'll round up other key rewards for Season 13. Bungie are also deploying fixes for game crashes, and they've got some additional warnings for the Hammer of Proving and War Table unlock quests. But we're also going to talk new mods, weapon perks, stasis aspects, and more stuff to be aware of with the launch of the new season. Firstly though, I have got to say a big thank you to NETGEAR for sponsoring this video. And they very kindly sent me the new NIGHTHAWK XR1000 Pro Gaming router to check out and share with you guys. So, as we can see, this is a really sleek router in terms of hardware. We set it up initially on the desk right here, and as always, the NETGEAR stuff is really well made, but most of the features of the router are actually controlled by Duma OS, and this is the software side of things. So, there are a lot of really useful tools like bandwidth allocation, where you can see every device on your network and individually prioritize devices like your Xbox, PC, or phone to give you the speeds where you need them, which may be especially useful if you don't want siblings hogging the Wi-Fi or something like that. But you can also control the bandwidth allowance for certain applications, and that'll prioritize types of network usage for consoles, browsing, file transfer, streaming, and more based on what you want to do. Additionally though, NIGHTHAWK also offers geofencing, where you can filter which game servers you want to play on, as well as reduce long-distance connections by only connecting to servers or hosts within your desired range. And then there are loads of other easy-to-use tools to test your connection, manage your network, view ping heat maps to check connection quality, and some other really awesome stuff. But also XR1000 does have Wi-Fi 6, and that allows significantly faster Wi-Fi connection on new hardware such as the PS5. And that makes this a truly next-gen capable router. I have personally been using NIGHTHAWK routers for some time in my setup for gaming, but also content creation, and it's safe to say they've got some pretty next-level hardware. And so if you guys want to check them out, be sure to follow the link in the description below for more info, and the product store. But now, following a few issues on PC at launch yesterday, something to take note of, but Bungie Help said they've deployed a Steam-only update to help resolve issues causing players to crash when launching into activities, and players need to relaunch D2 and Steam to take the update. So, things should be better today, and I'm sure they'll continue to track any major issues, so keep an eye out on their Twitter account. Of course, yesterday though, with the launch of the season, a secret exotic was revealed, so spoiler alert, but we now have more info about the quest and reward. And we are going to be unlocking a new Tex Mechanica lever action scout rifle. This was shared by Monteven on Raid Secrets. There's going to be some very cool lore associated with the weapon, its owner, and the activity where we acquire it. Upon receiving it, Zavala says, Tex Mechanica, this rifle was custom craft. Its creation was never reported to the Vanguard. But he finishes by saying if it doesn't exist, then there's nothing to confiscate, so long as it's in good hands. And Jinza did share a bunch of the text files for the weapon, but also the quest mission that we'll need to enter in order to unlock it. But even in the database, we can see a related collectible, and it's an emblem called the Next Chapter. And the source is a flawless completion of the Presage exotic quest on master difficulty. So this is going to be a new activity taking place in the Dark Cabal ship that Bungie have teased alongside the season. And the fact that this mission will get a master difficulty variant is very interesting. Flawless completion is going to be awarded, and kind of like collecting the feathers in the Hawkmoon mission, it looks like there will be certain upgrades and additional objectives unlockable. And so things are certainly going to get interesting there, but as well as the new quest, another story spoiler alert is necessary. And Monteven also shared a new leaked cutscene where Zavala tells a very interesting story about assassination attempts from Keitel, as well as some mention of Aldrin, but not the Crow, which is interesting. I will link that at the end of this video if you want to check it out. Other curious story developments though, something rather concerning, but Crow is now at the helm. It appears to slowly be integrating himself into the last city, but is wearing the mask to keep himself hidden. And when left quiet and alone, he will occasionally whistle Savathun's song into the ambience. We've also heard Shaq singing it, but now with Crow also humming this tune, it seems that certain characters are being influenced by Savathun, at least in some small way. And once again, obviously all of this story is building toward the Witch Queen that we're going to get later this year. On the subject of the new content though, if you guys are curious about Helm, War Table rep upgrades, Hammer of Proving and Battlegrounds, I do have a full guide from yesterday on how everything works and how to get those upgrades, so I'll link that as well as a full weapon video for the season down below. But a final quick mention for possible new exotics. Some players have been wondering whether this Year 4 season screen could hold clues to a future exotic. It may just be a placeholder, but there does look to be a heavy machine gun icon blacked out on the exotic thumbnail. Again, it could be a placeholder, generally suggesting other unrevealed exotics in Year 4, or, as some speculate, it could be a specific tease to a new exotic machine gun. Some players think it does look a little bit like super good advice from Destiny 1. could be a thing, of course, might not be a thing. Let us know what you think down in the comment section. But here's some very quick random shouts for the new season. It is actually possible to get new Iron Banner weapons for this season by turning in Iron Banner bounties that you've been saving. Once again, we covered those weapons and some of the unique bonuses they can get yesterday. Also, if you've unlocked the Salvager's Salvo, which of course is the new ritual weapon, players have pointed out that you can claim all of the ornament emblems from collections, even if you haven't actually unlocked the ornaments. Some kind of random bug you could take advantage of there. And also, if you want a guide for how to unlock the Salvager's Salvo relatively quickly, my friend Jarv does have a video which I'll link down in the description box below. You also may have noticed that Gunsmith now ranks up with one single click, and you can accept 100 materials at a time. That's certainly useful. But also, you can buy back Felwinter's Lie, Outbreak Perfected, and Whisper from the exotic archive in the tower. And then No Time to Explain is also available to everyone from the Stranger on Europa. So that's something to look out for right there. But now, let's mention new Stasis Aspects and Fragments. So if you visit the Stranger on Europa, she will have the quests to unlock these. They're somewhat grindy, kind of similar to what we had back in Beyond Light. And if you're curious what they actually do, the Warlock gets a new aspect called Bleak Watcher, and you can press and hold the grenade button to convert your grenade into a stasis turret that fires slowing projectiles at nearby targets. Hunters get Grim Harvest, where defeating slowed or frozen combatants creates stasis shards, and these shards grant melee energy when picked up by you or your allies. And then the Titan can get Howl of the Storm. While sliding, activate your charged melee ability to launch a wave of stasis energy forward that freezes targets and creates stasis crystals. But then there are 4 new stasis fragments as well, so we've got Whisper of Chains. While you're near frozen targets or friendly stasis crystals, you take reduced damage from targets, and that gives +10 to recovery. There's Whisper of Fractures. Your melee energy recharges faster when you are near 2 or more combatants, but it does come with a penalty to -10 discipline. There's Whisper of Impetus though, where damaging targets with stasis melee reloads your stowed weapons and grants you a temporary boost to weapon ready speed. That one sounds pretty good. And finally, Whisper of Torment. You gain grenade energy each time you take damage from combatants. So that's a preview of the new Stasis Aspects and Fragments that are earnable via the quests that the Stranger has. Some interesting new perks and mods to look out for very briefly, but one that I missed in my video yesterday, Exile's Curse, can actually get a new perk called Kickstart, and with this bonus you gain bonus damage and charge rate during a slide after sprinting for a short duration. That's pretty interesting. There's also a legendary trait that currently doesn't belong to any weapons, and it's called Flourish. Defeating combatants with grenade abilities increases this weapon's damage. That certainly sounds interesting. But then there is Adept Icarus Grip, and it improves accuracy while airborne and increases weapon range, and you get +5 to range. That's going to be a trial specific one, but also Adept Big One spec, which deals extra damage against powerful combatants, bosses, and vehicles. So it sounds a little bit like a free Vorpal weapon, and most likely that one is going to drop on weapons that we can get in Grandmaster Nightfalls. But now to finish with some content fixes and warnings. Bungie said going into the season, top issues being investigated, but swapping between Challenger medallions or Cabal runes on the Hammer of Proving does not refund currencies used. Also, socketing the Hammer of Proving prior to receiving a quest step to do so will not complete the step. Definitely worth bearing that in mind. And then decrypting an Umbral engram with a full inventory of engrams will result in a legendary engram being sent to the Postmaster. And for Barrier Colossus champions in Battleground, Behemoth may walk out of their barrier shields. They also warn that rapidly entering and exiting the vendor screens of Helm may result in misaligned camera views. The fact that Cabal Gold doesn't drop from raid or dungeon completions. And then, Ascendant shards from Crucible and Gambit rank rewards cannot be acquired with a full consumables inventory, even if there's room in the Ascendant shard stack. And the Salvager's Salvo cannot be reclaimed from collections, so certainly bear in mind all of those things as we go through some of the quests in the next couple of days. Also something to bear in mind for rewards from raids, but raid reward sources now include Masterwork materials as follows, so Enhancement Cores and Prisms have a chance to drop from hidden chests in Last Wish, Garden, and Descent raids, and these are on a weekly lockout per chest per raid. But also Ascendant shards are obtainable via a reward from a weekly Director Challenge connected to the featured raid, and Ascendant Shard weekly Director Challenge requires players to complete all encounters of the raid before it will pay out. So some interesting adjustments to those materials dropping in Pinnacle activities right there, and I'd be curious to get your thoughts below. There are a bunch of other patch changes that Bungie introduced yesterday, so I'll also link the patch notes in the description. But for today guys, that is everything we have to round up inside of this video, and so I hope you have enjoyed it as always. If you have, a like rating down below really does help us out. Give us your thoughts so far about the new season, but also if you're new to the channel, be sure to get subscribed so I can keep you posted on the world of Destiny 2 content. But for now, whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.